have no webcam. Really?
Yeah, you need your webcam.
Is my webcam working? Well, welcome into the Blazers Uprise podcast. I've literally botched every intro on every live stream for the last 6 streams. Webcam, do you want to connect to my computer? That would be convenient. Hope you guys are having a good Monday. There we go. There we go. What's going on? I don't even have my lights on. What am I doing? Okay. What's going on, everybody? How are y'all doing out there? I can't switch onto the screen. Yeah, no, I can't switch the screen. I gotta get it up on my phone because I wanted to tune in with chat, but then I realized I don't see chat on my screen. Alrighty. We're ready to get this podcast underway. We weren't when we started it, but now we are. So we got Nurkic news, we got interesting Stotts quote, we got an Eric Brandt theory about why our defense isn't improving, and we got picks against the spread, which is what we're going to start off with, as we always do. And I just want you guys to see this real quick. Oh, I didn't update it. Why? I literally just updated it. I don't know. Everything's good. It literally, watch how fast I got it. Boom. Updated. Look at that.
Yeah, I knew Tori put me on the
bottom. I put them in order based on how we did on Friday. That was the only order that made sense.
I knew he was.
Well, that's the only order that made sense. Look at how we're doing for last Friday in March. I'm doing the best this month. I did the best last Friday, so that had to put me on top. That was the only way I could decide, because otherwise I could not decide. But look at this. Eric's on bottom. We're all tied. I don't know how we're all tied. What is that? 351 games. We've bet on 351 games, and we're all tied right now. That's kind of crazy. That's pretty awesome, crazy. I think. So yeah. We got a month left of the season. We're all tied. We got to put something legit on the line. If chat comes up with a good bet for I don't know how exactly we're gonna do it, but we're gonna put something on the line. I want to reward chat if they end up pulling this off and winning this thing. So we only got 3 games today, so there's not gonna be much separation. So we could all be tied after this too. Going into our first game, we got the Hawks taking on the Hornets at home. Atlanta's favored by 4.5 points. I'm rolling with the Hawks. The Hawks have been a much better team at home than on the road. Charlotte's been stinking it up lately. The Hawks have the best player on the floor. That's Trae Young. So I'm going to take the Hawks to win by more than 4.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Hawks in this one. They've been playing really well at home. And, Charlotte's had some really terrible stinkers lately. They've also won a few games they shouldn't have won, like Houston. But, I see the Hawks winning this one.
Tommy, I already have to do both those things, so those bets don't work. I already have to eat blazing wings. I already have to release a rap song in the next month. So we gotta figure something else out. But moving on to our second game, we got the Nuggets taking on the Bucks. And let me just sidetrack here. Sometimes I don't appreciate how nice my transitions look until I'm in stream, and then I click it. I'm like, oh, that looks so nice. The colors and all that. I just want to say that's a thought that goes through my head sometimes. We got the Denver Nuggets taking on the Bucks. Bucks are without Giannis. Denver playing at home in Mile High City, favored by 5.5 points. I'm taking the Nuggets, and I'm doubling down on them because if there's one weakness the Bucks have, it's giving up 3-point shots. And when you have Jokic, distributing from the high post and is able to kind of facilitate from there and play on the perimeter, I feel like this is not a good matchup for Milwaukee. I don't know. That's not the best explanation as to why I don't think Denver is a good matchup for Milwaukee, but I feel like Denver is the type of team to exploit Milwaukee, them giving up a lot of threes and that type of thing.
And Giannis
is out, of course. And then it's in the Mile High City. It's in altitude. So I think that's a tough task for the Bucks to keep it close, so I'm doubling down on the Nuggets.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Nuggets as well. I'm not gonna double down, but think they get back on track in this game.
Alrighty. Leave your votes in the live chat. Here we go. Jazz Raptors. This game being played in Utah. Utah's favored by 5 points. I'm taking the Toronto Raptors. Raptors are just an overall better team. Jazz are inconsistent, but I feel like a lot of their games are really close. So I'm going to take the Raptors with the points.
Yeah, this is my double down. I'm also taking Toronto. So we have all three the same games, but different double downs tonight.
So I wouldn't mind if Toronto lost here. Because that would be 2 losses for Eric, 1 loss for me. I'd be okay with that. In chat, who do you want to pick for the double down?
You can pick.
Okay, I'm gonna randomly Trent Calmer picking the double down. Randomly scrolled, placed my thumb. Trent Calmer, who you want to double down on? Dame Dollar, we just let you didn't we just let him?
He wants to double down on Toronto, and that would have been the double down anyway.
Trent's doubling down on Toronto too, so there you go, Dame Dollar. It's like you did, yeah.
Dame Dollar said Toronto double down anyway.
Everybody going with you with Toronto, so I really wouldn't mind
if had your back.
Won that game. Blew them out. So anyway, that's picks against the spread. Very quick segment.
So, interesting though. Chat has Charlotte and Milwaukee.
Do they?
As their other two games.
So they got some difference there. So they're trying to gain that game. They might end up losing that game. Also, they might be looking at the Charlotte score because I thought that game was at 4:30. It's at 4. That's why I was in a huge rush to get live with this podcast. And then right before we went live, I realized it was at 4. I remembered it was at 4 because I don't look at the score. But I remembered it was at 4. The other games I think are at 6, yeah. Oh no, it is at 4:30. Okay. Okay, good. Never mind. I'm tripping, man. I've been tripping out a little bit lately. Just with stuff like that. My IQ has been falling on stream lately. I'm in a slump with my intros. Something behind your curtain?
I was just blocking the sunlight or the there was like a bright spot.
You're looking behind like there's something behind it. Okay, so what do you want to get into first? You decide our progression of topics here, Eric.
Let's talk about Nurk.
So you lead us off. You're host now. Okay, I'm struggling. I am taking a back seat to you here. I'm Dame taking a back seat to CJ.
All right. At least you didn't. Last year, you were trying to tell me I was Evan Turner, so I guess I'm stepping up.
A little bit. Still just as infuriating sometimes. But no, just kidding. Go ahead.
So Nurk had a over 10-minute wasn't like a press conference, but like a media availability session today. He had a full practice. He says he's 100%, and the key thing is he needs practice reps. And he kept saying that, like, I need reps, and I'm not getting them here. So the team decided to contact the Warriors and send him down to Santa Cruz to play, or not play. He's not going to play in a game. And so he's going to go down and practice with the G League team, and they're sending Gennaro Parga with him and one of the training staff to monitor him. It's just really weird to me, though, because for like 11 months, they didn't tell us anything. Like, they didn't even come out and talk about his calf strain or anything like that, right? No timetables. They said they weren't going to do timetables because they don't want to put like a date in that if he doesn't play that day, then people start to worry. So with less than 2 weeks to go, they all of a sudden start putting timetables.
That just says
9 days in the future.
Like 100% at that point. Like, he was fine at that point. So
yeah. But then you combine that with this week where they have 7 days between their last game and the game that Nurk's supposed to play on Sunday. 7 full days off. They only play 2 games. That's 5 full days they should have practice time. So I don't understand why he needs to go get reps in Santa Cruz when he could be practicing those 5 days, unless the theory is that well, this is different from my other theory, but unless that means they're not really
Yeah.
practicing, um, like or practicing full court or practicing hard, and like honestly, that might be part of the
Yeah.
problem right now, is because
Yeah.
like if you have 5 full days off, like are you really playing that well that you don't need to practice right now, or you're giving
And
guys
shouldn't Nurk be
days
practicing
off
with the
and
team just to
unless
get a little bit of maybe cohesiveness with those guys? You know, if they were practicing enough, then he probably would be practicing with the team. That's better than practicing with the random G League affiliate and having to go all the way down to Santa Cruz. Also, this team should be working out a lot of its defensive issues in practice right now. It should be practicing more, not practicing less, considering the issues that it's had lately. And you think, you'd want Nurkic to be a part of those practices as the team works through some of these issues, and hopefully corrects them in games once Nurkic is back. But nope, he's going to Santa Cruz. It speaks to me a little bit about, how this organization is being run from a day in day out standpoint, if that makes sense.
they asked Nurk if he was gonna play in a game, and he was like, "Don't be ridiculous! I'm not playing in no G League game." Type answer. He was like, "No, I'm not playing in the G League, dude." Like, and they're like, "Well, wouldn't that be good?" And he's like, "No, I'm not playing in the G League."
See,
Later,
of course.
Clays.
I like the
Yeah, that
Mello
was pretty
saying he
funny.
wasn't going to come off the bench a few years ago. That's funny.
Right.
Because I haven't watched the interview yet. I'll watch it after the podcast. If you could hear it, I'd just play it right now. But yeah, so I,
But he seems ready to go. He's a little. You can tell he's not all there mentally yet with the leg, but he said, because they asked him like, well, how did you feel like running? Like, are you having any trouble? He's like, man, it's been like 4 weeks after the surgery since I've been fine physically. It healed, and that's all it took. But it's just like mentally getting prepared to play again and all that stuff. So um, I'm hoping that goes away pretty quickly once he steps on the court. But yeah, that's something that can linger for a while when you have a devastating injury
yeah,
like that.
and that's why he needs reps to end this year to kind of get over that going into the off season. That's why the people
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, don't bring him back at all the year, pointless." We are a lottery team, so there's no point. Yeah, there is a point. You gotta knock off the rust. You gotta get him mentally back. You gotta get him mentally prepared for next year. The only way you're gonna do that is through reps. You don't want those reps to be in exhibition games, because it's going to be easier for him to, not lock into the game, not
Like
focus on
goof
the
off.
game
Yeah.
because it's a preseason game. So you don't want him getting those reps during the regular season next year and possibly dropping games in the regular season because he has to knock off some rust and he has to get his mind right because he didn't have the time in the previous season this year to do it. So that's the thing. Playing him now can help us win games next year. So that's why you end up playing him. He's 100% healthy. Why not? It doesn't really make sense to not play him right now. Have a lot more to gain. I mean, some fluky could happen. Some fluky could always happen though. So
Yeah, and then Stotts said that they hadn't planned out what's going to happen on Sunday yet. He's focused on tomorrow's night's game and not Sunday's game. So he doesn't know like if he'll like how many minutes he'll play or what his restrictions will be or any of that stuff. I don't know if he's just saying that or what, but that's what he said. He basically said he didn't know anything about how it's going to
yeah,
go on Sunday
and
yet.
we need our own G League affiliate too. We need to be able to send him
Yeah.
to Hillsboro or
Well,
Vancouver. I don't know where the hell you'd put it, but Salem.
Salem,
Screw Salem. No, hell no.
Eugene,
Just kidding. Anybody in Salem
Tacoma.
is offended now. But no, be able to send him somewhere local where he's able to practice with a G League affiliate that runs our system or whatever. We just need our own G League affiliate. We're one of two teams in the NBA who doesn't
Well,
have one right now, so it's just kind of weird to send a guy like that down to a G League, down to the G League, to practice.
yeah, you're entrusting his care to another organization after you've been so bottled up about it for 11 months. Like that's what doesn't make sense to me. And I know they're sending guys with him, but like I think that's way more riskier than if you just like had pickup games at 24 or something, or LA Fitness, or you know, like get Channing Frye to come practice against him and all
Yeah.
that.
I mean, imagine if Curry was still, on his rehab and he was down
Down
there
to this,
practicing. You got
yeah.
Curry and Nurkic running pick and roll together in a G League practice. But yeah, I mean, just hopefully, it's what he needs to get right, and then Sunday, hopefully, he plays
So
well.
they showed a few plays from practice too in a
Did they?
different video, and one was Nurk shooting a three, and the other was him coming off pick and roll with Gennaro Parga, who was practicing. I'm guessing because
Mm-hmm.
they don't have uh, everyone practicing right now. I'm sure Dame's not going full speed in practice, but yeah, so he threw down a dunk off a feed from Pargo, and then they showed Zach like full contact post work. He wasn't playing in the 5-on-5, but he was going up against someone wearing the big padded like armbands, and he was like beating him up in the post. And Zach was like attacking him, lowering his shoulder, getting the body into him, even his left
When's
shoulder.
Zach coming back?
And
I want to know.
I know, it's weird because if he wasn't 100%, like there's no way
Yeah.
he should be doing that with his shoulder. But like, so
Well, it's
like,
just
what are
waiting for
they?
that magical
Why are they?
110% that isn't possible.
Yeah,
Collins is never going to play again because he could only even be 100%. Man.
just seems like we're trying to like bubble wrap our players or something. And I understand this season is not really worth risking them, but if they're healthy, play
Yeah,
them.
like, are we
Like,
tanking, though? You know what I mean? I mean, we're literally, I don't know. It seems like Nurkic has been ready to go for a couple weeks, and we're not practicing enough. It's like, why aren't we practicing enough? If Collins
yeah.
is doing
Well,
that,
that's the
why
other
isn't
thing.
he coming back? Like, why isn't there a reported return date for him?
We talked about this before, but if we had a G League team to send him down to, Nurk, we could have had him practice a long time ago. But if they were going to send him down to a G League to practice, and his excuse for not being ready to play was that they don't have practice time, why wouldn't they have done this like a week or two
Yeah.
ago and had him practice with the G League team then?
Doesn't make a
And
ton of sense. Dame Dollar, I know it's a metaphor. No, no, duh, I know. I know the saying, bro. It's literally the I make fun of that saying because you can paint the same exact message by saying 100%, but people will say 110%. Some people will say 120%. Some people, I don't know. I mean, like, why not say like, oh, we're not gonna have him return until he's 145%. Like, I'm just saying. I've always laughed at that saying. What's up, people's mix? 103%, like
103%.
why exactly 110%, if you're just coming up with random numbers here. But yeah, it's just would be interesting to see this team play with our
See,
bigs back.
yeah, I wish the team played at
Yeah, I wish the team
110% on
played
the floor right now.
110% instead of just 10% on the floor. But yeah, your theory on our defense.
All right, so we all know that Stotts is
Mm-hmm.
stubborn, right? And he doesn't like to change his philosophies or mix
Yep.
things around, right? So this is what I think has happened this year. Stotts, because he's mentioned this before, how, oh, well, this team always shows improvement throughout the season. We always have a good record after the All-Star break, blah, 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 right? So I think Stotts thought this team would just make a run after the All-Star break or when the schedule eased up, and that he didn't need to change anything because we're going to go on a run like we always do. It's just, like Dame's kind of had this mentality too all year where, oh, don't worry, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out, So my theory is there was a point earlier in the year when he was maybe questioning the defense, but he's like, oh no, we got this easy stretch later after the All-Star break. We'll be fine. We just need to stick to my defense because it's right. And then so Now we get to this point, and we don't have Nurk back yet, which he was probably counting on having Nurk too. But like now, it's like, uh-oh, we don't have that break. We don't have that like stretch where we played well after the All-Star break, and then my defense still sucks, and now it's like, oh no, it's like too late to do anything about
Yeah.
it now, right? Because they didn't try anything different all year. So now he's got to like be defensive about it and stick to it because he can't change it now. And so like he just thought it would magically get better, which is horrible for a coach. But like he was expecting them to start winning, and then that would like make all his criticism go away because they were winning, right? So now that we're not winning and we're looking like we're not going to make the playoffs and not make that little push that we need, it's like magnified on him, and now he's like he doesn't know what to say or do because he knows it's his fault, but like he's not going to blame himself, you
Yeah.
know.
I don't even think it's that deep, honestly. I think he thinks his scheme is the way to go, so he runs his scheme like all year without
Right.
adjusting it. I think that's honestly, I think that's might be as deep as it goes. Because I don't know, honestly, no offense to Terry Stotts, he doesn't really nice guy, but doesn't seem. Sometimes he just says things where it's like there has to be something more behind this because he can't be this dumb. Like there are things that are said. It's just like what was said today about
Well,
what did he say today about Milwaukee's defense and like compared to ours?
so well he it wasn't necessarily compared to ours, but he was like, well, Milwaukee's the best defense in the league, and they gave up 77 in the first half to Phoenix the other night. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
but the key thing is
um,
they're the best defense in the league. We're 27th.
yeah,
That is kind of the important fact you're missing there, Terry.
right.
If they were 27th in the league and giving up 77 to the Phoenix Suns, yeah, that'd be a problem for them. But they're first. That's the thing.
But but that goes along with what I'm saying. It's like it's there's always like an
Yeah.
excuse or a reason, and like I don't need to change because my system's fine. Like, look, these other teams give up threes too. Like, it'll work eventually. And he said something about Baines, like, well, Baines isn't going to hit 9 threes or something along those lines too. And it's like he started out hitting the two threes against Milwaukee, he said, and then that kind of opened it up, and that's the reason why they scored so much. So like I got the feeling from him they weren't going to do anything different on Baines. They just hope he isn't hitting 9 threes again.
Yeah.
Um, but in the past, so before one of the seasons, he had talked about how he thought maybe he should change his defensive philosophies, and that he said um, he decided against it, even though his assistants were like begging him to change it. I'm assuming that was
Yeah.
Vanderpool at the time, um, but that he decided to stick with it. And then that was the season where I think it was like the first full season with Nurk where we were pretty good defensively. Um, so ever since then, he's been like, oh, see, because like when we go on a run after the All Star break, he's been like, see, we just need to like get continuity with it and stick together, and it'll work out. But you don't have the personnel to run that defense right now. I hate people are saying it's personnel, but like even if personnel is the problem, that doesn't give you an excuse for not trying to fit your personnel to a
Or fit
different
your
system or
yeah,
trying
you
to
fit
do
your
whatever
scheme to
works
your
best.
personnel. That's the thing. It's like average, below average coaches. They always try to fit their personnel to their scheme and their personnel to a certain style of play. Great coaches fit their scheme, fit their system around the skill sets they have, around the players they have, and that's my big issue with Stotts, and that's why when people talk about personnel, it's like, yeah, but he's still not game planning for the opposition well. He's still not, uh, he's still not producing good situational defense based on what the other team has in terms of players, those players' skills. You look at Aaron Baines dropping 9 threes on us as a perfect example. You look at last second situational defense too, where we don't really adjust based on the situation in the last few seconds of a game. it, that's why the whole personnel excuse drives me crazy, because yes, it is a problem with us, but it's much more than that. It's much deeper than that. When you're giving up 70, what was it, 77 in the quarter to Phoenix, and then the next night you're giving up.
We gave up 70 to Phoenix and
Okay, yeah.
77 to the
Like, you know what
Kings.
I mean? Like, that's, somebody said it, I think it was Let Me On dude said it perfectly earlier. The thing is, like, 77 to Phoenix for the Bucks, that was an anomaly. For us, that's a habit. And the problem is,
Right.
but that's a
As
habit. That's bad. You know what I mean? Our defense has maybe been the worst defense in the league in the past month, and that there's no excuse for that. I don't care what personnel you got out there.
well, you have those same people that say like, well, Pop and Kerr, their teams have horrible records this year. Are they terrible coaches too? It's like they have a combined 8
Mm-hmm.
championships. They have a bit of a pass when they
Yeah,
have a down season. It's an
yeah.
outlier for them. Like this, the defense for
It's like,
Stotts
how
has
are you
never
going to
really
say that
been
about
great.
Steve Kerr when or his regular lineup this year is like Jordan Poole, Damian Lee, Pascal, Ludi, and you know what I mean? Like, he's literally having to play G Leaguers. He's playing a guy named Michael Mulder. He's playing a guy named Juan Toscano. He's playing guys like that. He's Kai Bowman has been solid this year for two-way player, but he's been a two-way player all year. You know, Michael Mulder, Marquise
Marquise
Chris. Like,
Chris.
he literally has absolute garbage at his disposal. He doesn't have a Hassan Whiteside. He doesn't have a CJ McCollum. He doesn't have a Damian Lillard. Honestly, on his team, I don't think, like, Draymond probably better than Hassan when he's playing with Curry and Thompson, those guys. But without those guys, Draymond Green's pretty useless, you know. So we have 3 players that are better than anybody the Warriors are running out there, you know. And honestly, I'd say, our fourth of, Ariza is would be maybe the second, third best player the Warriors are running out there. Probably the third behind Wiggins, but Wiggins is overrated, and Draymond's like, they've been hurt, and I don't know. That's the thing. So it's like, how can you even compare our situation to theirs? We have Damian Lillard. We have the most talented player in franchise history, in my opinion. You have C.J. McCollum. You have Hassan Whiteside. You have Trevor Ariza, who's been playing very, very well since he's gotten here. You have Gary Trent Jr. stepping up and being a good two-way player. He's been, he's shooting over 40% from three, playing great defense, and plays with hustle. Like, it's not like we're running out the lineups the Warriors are. We're running out much better lineups than they are. So that's the thing. When people try to compare Stotts to Kerr, like, oh, look at Kerr, he's struggling. Like, yes, at that point, it's personnel. And the thing is, Kerr's teams are very successful because of how they move the ball and, like, how they play off each other. It's really hard to make that effective with a bunch of G Leaguers, especially guys that you're bringing in mid-season, like a Toscano, a Michael Mulder. It's really hard to make the type of offense they run work with new personnel and with a bunch of G League players. So yeah, in that situation, that's personnel. I just hate when people bring up, oh, look at Steve Kerr. Look at Steve Kerr and look at how his team's doing. I hate that argument because it's so devoid of proper context that it drives me crazy, man.
Yep. And so Let Me On Dude says having Hassan as a defensive anchor is also a problem. He hunts blocks too much.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, Whiteside is a problem, but like if him being an anchor in the drop coverage is a problem, why are we still running the drop coverage? Like, why are we not trying to trap with him? Like, he's so long. Like, if he just showed hard on picks and like disrupted some of the other team's plays and stuff, like I could see him getting some like deflections occasionally, but the problem is we don't create any turnovers and we give up wide open shots. Like, if you give up wide open shots, because this is what the difference is between the Bucks giving up a lot of threes and the Blazers giving up a lot of threes. The Bucks create a ton of turnovers, so they might take chances that lead to fast breaks and doing stuff like that, like getting out and running, transition, which we also don't do. So like those things are all go hand in hand. But like ours, we give up wide open shots and we don't create turnovers, and we're a horrible defensive rebounding team on top of that. So like it's like the worst of everything. Whereas those other teams, yeah, they might give up an occasional open shot, but for every like 3 open shots you get a steal and a fast break dunk because an easy 2 points, or you get a rebound and you don't give them a second opportunity because you're a good rebounding team. So like I'd be fine with giving up like 9 threes to Baines if it meant like we were gambling on steals and things like that. But it's not even that. We're just in a bad position defensively every possession, so where teams are getting open shots. Like you broke it down beautifully on that last post-game stream, like going through picks off the ball and all that stuff. Like we're just not even in the right spaces. So like I can't even say that it's Whiteside's fault or Melo's fault or anything like that, because like everyone is just out of position. Like everyone falls asleep off the ball. Like we don't play picks right. We don't do anything right. I mean,
our defense.
It's hard to tell.
It's a team-wide problem. So yeah, it's hard to like point out. When the team is so disoriented on that end, like it's hard to tell. Oh, well, Whiteside is screwing up here, or is it like, oh, well, maybe that's what Stotts wants him to do, because Stotts isn't a good defensive coach, or it's like, well, this thing is so not cohesive that Whiteside's probably confused. I can't really blame him. Whiteside's probably like, CJ, why are you over here? Or go guard your man. Like,
Tommy has a good point. He feels like picking on Hassan for our failures is giving Stotts the benefit of the doubt for poor defensive schemes. And that's exactly right. Like he has basically everyone thinking that it's Hassan's problem instead of him, right? At least the people who don't really know what they're talking about. So like, I just wish they would try. Like, okay, I get it. Like you might not have the personnel. That's fine if you want to use that argument. If you're trying other things. But don't just keep running the same thing that's not working.
You're pounding your head against a brick wall there and thinking you're going to break it. Instead, you're just giving yourself a concussion. Trent Calmer says that makes a bad coach. He needs the perfect roster for things to work, and he has a good point there. I mean, he needs the perfect personnel to fit his system because he's not going to change the system. And it's I don't know that's
like. Nick Nurse, when Siakam was out like 2 months and Gasol was out most of that time too. Lowry's missed some games. Van Vliet's missed a bunch of games. Did he just be like, oh, you know what? I don't have the personnel. I'm just going to keep running this crappy defense. And if they don't come around, it's on them, right? But I'm just going to run my system. No, he's like, okay, we got Chris Boucher. We got this like Terrence Davis guy. Let's like full court press this game, or like let's do a box and one. Let's do a 1-3-1 trapping zone, and those guys got after the passing lanes, and it kind of makes things fun when you switch it up. Like when you're always like sagging back and giving open shots, it's not fun defense to play either. So it's harder for the players to get jacked about getting in someone's face or D'ing someone up, because it's like a lazy kind of defense where you're just supposed to be like waiting for the guy to come to you instead of getting after him, know? And that's why we don't create a lot of turnovers.
We have the personnel to pressure off the bench. You have Gabriel, you have Little, you have Trent, you can, maybe run Ariza out there with him, maybe get, I don't know, CJ up there pressing. We have some personnel that can trap, because that's the thing people say, oh, well, Melo, you don't want to run in a trap, but the thing is, Melo wouldn't even have to be a guy like that's really pressuring the ball since he's a 4. But
did we have Ariza yet in the Rocket games that we played really well in?
The second one we did. The first one, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we did. But like, yeah, so we did that diamond coverage against Harden, and we haven't seen it yet since. Like, we played similar players like Luka the next game, and then we go right back to our old defense of sagging, and they destroy us from 3. It's like, so yeah, one game with Bazemore and one
Yeah.
game with Ariza. Uh, yeah, so like we didn't even have our best perimeter defender that we have right now in the first game, and we completely shut Harden and the
Hmm.
Rockets down in that game. And so like that's the frustrating part. Like he's shown it's that game shows you like look, try something different every once in a while. Maybe we'll have a great game and beat a good team. Like right now, we need to win these games. We can't just give up 77 points and a half and afford to lose a game and get blown out like the Bucks can right now. They're on pace to win like 70 games still. Like they can afford to lose a few games
Yeah.
and, like not really care about changing their scheme too much if away from
Yeah.
what's working. But our system isn't working. So like why not just like come out against the Kings and throw some weird coverage at them that they're not expecting and hope or at least like try to do something different at halftime when you're getting blown out of the gym at
Yeah, it
home.
doesn't make
Like
sense, man.
it's just so
And some
frustrating.
people that don't usually blame the coaching, I feel like, are starting to actually pay attention and maybe, view the coaching objectively instead of being biased towards Terry Stotts, like a lot of people are. So that's good to see. We've been unbiased all season, but it's never too late to view things objectively. And
I'm I'm still worried, man,
um,
though. Because I know he's not going to get
I mean,
fired
it's gonna
this
be the
summer.
same
So
thing next
like
year, so we'll have
that's
to wait and see.
yeah. Well, I already know what's going to happen. We're going to have a good regular season
Mm.
next year, and um, people will be like, "See, it was personnel or whatever," and then we'll get to the playoffs, and we'll play a team like in the second round that traps us and that just lights us up from three, and we'll get knocked out in the second round. But getting to the second round will be just enough to bring Terry back the next year, and then he'll keep the same defense
Yeah.
all that next year. So we still have 2 more years of Terry, and then by the end of that year, when we get bounced out of the playoffs that year, Dame will be like 32, and then everyone will realize like, oh, maybe Stotts isn't the greatest postseason coach or can't make adjustments in the playoffs. Like maybe we should
Hmm.
think of someone else when we should have been
Yeah,
proactive about it
yeah.
earlier.
I mean, that's the thing. We'll have a better regular season next year, and that'll be it's personnel, and I'll be sitting there saying I never said it wasn't personnel. It's literally a combination of
Right.
multiple things. So if you improve one of the things, obviously it's going to make a difference. That's the problem. Is like people think that like it has to be either or. It's black or white. So like, oh, the personnel improves next year and we do better. Obviously, somehow all of a sudden the coaching doesn't play a factor, and somehow all of a sudden not making adjustments during games. Oh, that's irrelevant, because our personnel improved and we improved. So somehow that means that nothing is Stotts' fault. You know what I mean? Like it's faulty logic. Like oh, this season wasn't Stotts' fault because when our personnel improved next year, we got better. Like, how does that add up? You know what I mean? Like, that's literally what the argument is going to be next year. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm already getting mad about it because I already feel like that, that's going to be what's said. So,
Ben asked, should we blame
no,
Olshay?
jeez. The deadline he
I
screwed the
I
pooch,
have
but
I have issues with Olshay too, but like I said, it coaching and roster construction should be different things. So like, yeah, the GM needs to do a better job of finding players that do fit Stott's system, knowing that he's that stubborn not to change it. But at the same time, Stotts needs to. I mean, a lot of the injuries and stuff isn't roster construction; it's injuries, right? So, um, like if Collins doesn't go down and Hood doesn't go down, that there's nothing Olshay can really do about it outside of making a trade, but it takes two
yeah.
teams to trade. Stotts can change what he does. He doesn't have to stick to the same philosophies that don't work with the guys he's given. He could, like, if Melo sucks at defense and you can't play good defense because you have Melo, you don't have to play Melo 35
Exactly.
minutes a game, right? Like, try playing Little. Little shut down
Hmm.
Siakam for 3 quarters and a game at home against Toronto, and then he doesn't even play the fourth quarter. Siakam goes crazy, and we lose a game we probably should have won because. And by the way, Toronto was missing several guys in that game as well. Um, but yeah, like, And I know like one game outliers, like you never know, but there's just so many of those instances this year. Like the first game of the season, we always talk about where Whiteside showed on picks and recovered to his man quickly, and he did not look slow. He did not look like that was going to be an issue for him, and I've never seen it since. But I've seen it happen in a game this year. So, yeah, Wenyen played fairly well on Davis. Yeah, he fouls a lot, but that just young guys sometimes need playing time to get over that, and the refs can kind of be a little more. I don't know what the right word is, but they call a lot of fouls on players who are young, like Wenyen, who don't really have a place in the league yet. So they're not given the benefit of the doubt on any contact. So yeah, he needs to learn not to put his hands down or get in positions where he's called for a foul even though he's not really fouling that much. But yeah, like Trent Culmer says, we had Rodney Hood shooting like 50% from three, and we still weren't winning many games. Something's wrong. Like, I just don't get it. Like,
yeah, I've been wanting to respond to this. So the People's Mix, this was what, 13 minutes ago. I've been wanting to respond to this. He says Wiggins gets hated on. LOL. How the F is he overrated? He is underrated at this point. And then he goes on to say, for example, Kenny fourth quarter. Hated on him, then proceeded to read his stats during his first 7 games in Golden State, and he was defending well and had like 65% true shooting percentage. The reason why Wiggins is overrated is because people will take a 7-game sample size and act like that's how he is instead of what he's shown everybody the past 4 years. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm going to take the bigger sample size instead of him playing 7 games well, because he'll have stretches where he plays well. He had a stretch at the beginning of the season. He played really well, and then he regressed back to what he was the past 4 seasons. So, yeah. He comes to Golden State, plays well for 7 games or whatever. Okay, well, I'm expecting him to regress back to how he's been the last 4 seasons, because every good stretch like this that he's had has not lasted. But some people, a lot of people will look at a stretch like this and be like, oh, look at Wiggins. And some people will look at it, oh, look, he gets 22 points per game. And based on his physical tools, it seems like he should be a really good defender, but he's not. He hasn't proven to be consistently over a large stretch in his career. So I don't care what he's done in 7 games, but people will look at him and be like, oh, he's a good defender just based on, his tools. Oh, he's quick and he's lanky and he's athletic, so he must be a good defender. That's what people think. And then they look at 22 points per game, and that's all that matters to them. They think that, oh, he's really good for that, even though it's inefficient and it's inefficient volume scoring, which is an overrated thing to have. You know what I mean? So that's why Wiggins is overrated. Don't tell me about 7 games, man. Once he has a full season where he puts it together, then see, and he's still saying that he's been very good in Golden State. That's a small ass sample size, bro. That's such a smaller sample size.
Well, one thing I'll say to that though is, he has good coaching now. He has guys who obviously have tremendous work ethics in Draymond, Curry, and Klay Thompson. So it's possible that kind of rubs off on him, because obviously if he was working as hard or on the right things all the time, to this point in his career as some of those guys, he would be like one of the better players in the NBA with his skill set.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of potential, but I need to see it for a whole season, not half a month. Like, I'm not gonna, well, he's played well for almost an entire month now. He's a completely changed player, because we saw him play well, play good defense, distribute for the first month of this season in Minnesota, and then what happened? He regressed. So, like, yes, theoretically, he could keep this up, with the reasoning being what you said, he's in a better culture, he's around players with more work ethic. But we've seen stretches like this before, and people then were like, oh, look, he's finally figuring it out. He's finally taking that next step. He's finally becoming what everybody expected him to become. And then what? And then he's garbage. And then he's hot trash. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fine line he walks, because he's always been a inefficient scorer. Even right now, I don't know. Let me look up his stats at Golden State because I feel like 65 true shooting percentage is probably an outlier. Or probably, I feel like that's probably not right. Um,
I know someone who went to
mhm.
Kansas with him, and he said he's like,
No, no, you got
go
it. You
ahead.
got it. You got it.
He said he's like one of the dumbest
Hmm.
players he's ever seen. Like he just has no basketball IQ and stuff, and that can be masked a little bit if you're on the court with Curry, Thompson, and
Yeah.
Draymond. Uh, but yeah, like I've heard he's just like not smart at all when it comes to like knowing
Hmm.
the game of basketball and like where to be and what to work
Here,
on and
here
all that
is
stuff.
Wiggins in Golden. Okay, so Wiggins in Minnesota this year.
Oh, wait, hold
Yeah.
up before you say it. Now
Oh
People's
no!
Mix is trying to
Now he's
qualify.
backtracking. Okay. So
His shooting's gotten worse since the first 7 games, and he's playing with G Leaguers, and
oh, so
Green
now you're
got
making
hurt.
excuses, but this is
Well,
exactly my point. This
yeah,
is
that's your point.
exactly my
Yeah.
point, bro. In Minnesota, Andrew Wiggins had a 53.5 true shooting percentage. In Golden State, he has a 53.8 true shooting percentage, a difference of 0.3%. Let's look. His rebounding percentage has gone down 0.2%. His assist percentage has only gone up 0.2%. His turnover percentage has gone up 0.1%. So literally his stats are exactly the same. Exactly the same. Defensive box plus minus now negative 0.97, negative 1.6, which, advanced defensive stats can't paint, are kind of flawed, but win shares per 48.065. You know what I mean? Like that's bad. Literally his stats are identical. So all of a sudden, oh, look at his tenure at Golden State. He's a completely different and changed player. But like I'm looking at this statistically, he's literally the same exact player. An inefficient player who probably doesn't play defense, man.
Sorry,
What?
sorry. You're just looking at stats, bro. He watches the games. That's what
Yeah,
he
you act
says.
like I haven't seen him play many, many times, bro. That's the thing. But that's the thing. If he was making this, if he had this huge improvement, then he would have, if he was scoring more efficiently, he would have more efficient numbers. You know what I mean? You can base the efficiency of scoring based off stats. You don't have to watch the game to see how efficiently somebody is scoring the ball. That's the beauty about shooting statistics is you can see, they don't have noise really. They
Yeah.
And
Well,
the thing is, he brought up true shooting percentage first.
and and yeah, Ben, you're right. Stats are not everything, but People's Mix was trying to claim that his stats were better now that he's in
Yeah, that's
Golden
how this
State. I'm
started.
like,
He was like, well, Kenny tried to hate on him, and then he looked at his stats the first 7 games, and he shoots like a 65% true shooting percentage. I doubt that because somehow he's gone from 65 to under 54 in 4 games. But he was the one bringing up true shooting percentage and bringing up stats and all that. So sure, we'll talk stats, and that's the thing. Like offensively, he's not
and
any better. So the only argument he could make is, oh, his defense is a lot better. Oh, okay, we'll see if that he playing for a new team. Okay, I doubt that's going. He's shown he doesn't have a motor on that end of the floor. So I don't think that'll maintain itself.
yeah. So People's Mix too. Golden State is on national TV like all the time because they made the schedule before the season started and they've been on
Mm-hmm.
way too much. I just watched Curry's first game the other night against Toronto. Yeah, a lot of times I forgot Wiggins was even on the court until he bricked a three a few
What about his
times.
defense? What about his defense?
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think he's a
See,
good
that's the
defender,
thing. Is
but
like people will try and I don't know, think he's a good defender to try and I don't know. People who want to see him succeed will say, "Oh, look at his defense in Golden State." You know what I mean? They'll be kind of biased towards that.
Mhm.
I haven't seen him since the All-Star break, but that's literally the only argument he could make. Offensively, he has not been better at all. He's literally been the same exact player. And people makes won't admit he's wrong. That's the thing.
Well, he's Canadian.
Is he
He's got to
Canadian?
support his Canadian
Oh,
brother.
he's Canadian. I didn't
People's
realize he was
mix?
Canadian.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now. That makes sense now. So he's gonna ride for Wiggins. Okay, no, I that makes a lot more sense.
Ride or die.
I'll look at Wiggins' last 4 games because he's like, oh, I swear you're shooting 65 true shooting percentage. I mean, maybe he was. I'm not necessarily saying you're wrong. It's just hard to believe. No, there's no way he was shooting. Because his last 4 games, he went 9 for 19, 9 for 16, 9 for 23 for 10. That's too efficient for him to drop from 65 true shooting percentage to under 54% when he's shooting 47.4%, 56.3%, 45% for the field, and 30% from the field. Like, that's too efficient. So, I don't know. You look at the games before that. So the seven games he started off in Golden State: 8 for 12, 6 for 14, 9 for 14, 10 for 17. Okay, that's efficient. And then he fell off a cliff: 3 for 16, 6 for 14, 6 for 20.
But like you said, to your point, is he's gotten hot stretches
Exactly.
before, including this
Yeah.
season. Like if you just took his numbers after like the first 15, 20 games of this season,
Yeah. I mean, he was. You said you wanted his numbers from the first 15, 20 games?
I was just like, I didn't say I wanted them. I'm just saying
Oh,
if you
yeah.
looked at his numbers, it would be similar from the first stretch of
And
games
that's why
this year.
Minnesota started off okay in the first like 20 games or so, and then they fell off a cliff because Andrew Wiggins' production fell off a cliff and Karl Anthony Towns got hurt. Wiggins just overrated, man. Like, you can be supportive of your guy and also be real about him. He has not been a good NBA player in his career just because he's not efficient. He doesn't play defense. He doesn't really make plays for others. He's improved on that. I'll give him that. But that's not going to be his role in Golden
So,
State.
okay.
That's the thing. And he's a horrible rebounder considering he's an athletic small forward 6'7". Like he should be getting. He's improved his rebound though. He's getting 5 a game this year. That's better than the 3-4 rebounds he used to get.
Plus his
Yeah, his
contract's
contract's
terrible
terrible.
too.
Like he's had years to figure it out and really step up, but he's still not a good NBA player. He's an average NBA player, just a volume scorer. He can have a hot night, but when he's not having a hot night, he's bad. Like, he and some of the frustration with him is like he should be a lot better than how he's been. But
Yeah.
like he's a worse version of CJ in my opinion. Because CJ can at least space the floor better than Wiggins. Wiggins is like a 33% three-point shooter. CJ is a good three-point shooter. He can space the floor better, and I think he's CJ's a better playmaker. And CJ's probably a better, not lately, but like earlier in the season, CJ was probably a better on-ball defender. And you can get away more with having a bad defensive shooting guard than a bad defensive small forward or power forward type of player. So I don't know. Like that's the thing is you can make a lot of these arguments for why CJ is overrated too. I think CJ might be a little bit overrated on the national scene. See, that's my player, but I'm willing to admit he's overrated a little bit. When CJ's playing well, he can be phenomenal. He can play like a superstar some nights. But overall, CJ's a little bit overrated for the same reasons that Wiggins is. But Wiggins is a much worse version than CJ.
Well, both of them have to take a lot of shots to score that 20
Mm-hmm.
points too.
Granted, CJ doesn't really get to the line, but CJ has had okay. CJ had like a 55% true shooting percentage last year. That would be a career high for Andrew Wiggins. That's the thing. Wiggins, the only year he shot over 54% true shooting percentage was the second year in the league. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Wiggins' game at all. So
Yeah.
But I'm not even really that worried about the Warriors next year either, unless they make some more moves because Wiggins doesn't fit into what they need.
I could definitely see them trying to trade him
I
in the
think that was just
offseason
get
too.
back an asset.
So we'll never know
Mm-hmm.
the answer.
I think they'll maybe. What I'm wondering is like, I don't know, because I play my league and like certain scenarios play out and like present questions, just based on like where teams fall in the lottery and that type of stuff. So like if the Bulls get number 1, number 2, number 3 overall pick, I don't know, wherever, and they think Wiseman is the best answer, I wonder how willing they'd be to part with Wendell Carter Jr., because that'd be a really good fit for Golden State. If Chicago got put in a position where like, oh, it makes sense to get Wiseman, and maybe we can get Minnesota's top 3 pick next year for Wendell Carter, and maybe, I don't know, just certain scenarios pop up where it's like, maybe Golden State would be willing to do like Wiggins, and if their pick falls to 4th or 5th this year, maybe they do their pick this year and Wiggins and the Minnesota pick next year for Wendell Carter and Zach LaVine. You know what I mean? I think they'll pull off something that people don't see coming like that, which Otto Porter could be another guy that's thrown in there. Maybe Wiggins for Porter straight up. Maybe they exchange picks, get Golden State a little more value, but I don't see how Golden State could get more value because Porter's the better player. But Porter has more injury. I don't know. Those guys could have even value, but Wiggins actually makes more sense for Chicago just because he's younger and more of a project, and they're in rebuild mode. And Otto Porter Jr. would be a great fit for Golden State, so that's another type of trade you could see coming.
That's kind of funny you mentioned the Bulls, because I was thinking today that would be interesting if they were willing to part with Wendell Carter Jr. or like Lauri Markkanen or something. I was trying to think of guys that the Blazers could actually get to salary-wise without having to like try to come up with $20 million to trade.
My man People's Mix just told me to shut up. Actually, maybe that was somebody in chat, but I figured he was saying it to me, so I put him in timeout. What were you saying?
Well, he said he knows for sure that Golden State will keep him this summer because he has some sort of inside information. But Golden State all year said they weren't going to trade D'Angelo Russell. Oh, no, we like D'Angelo Russell. We're going to trade him. You called that same exact trade that they made way back before the season even started. I think he called it during the free agency thing when he was signed and traded to Golden State. Right?
Yeah.
But all year, no, we're not trading Russell.
I told you guys at the start of the season that D'Angelo Russell was going to be a Timberwolf by the end of the season. I told y'all. I called that. But apparently I don't know what I'm talking about, according to People's Mix. But no, I wish People's Mix would just make like one post for all his points, but it's like, shut up. What are you talking about? Something else. Like, just post. Like, just make one post, bro. Just make one post. No, I thought, I don't know, maybe he was talking to somebody in chat, but anytime I see shut up, it's just like, bro. Because anybody telling me to shut up when it's my live stream and it's my podcast and they're in my live chat, I'm putting them in timeout. I'm making them shut up. I ain't shutting up. Well, if I shut up, what would this podcast be? It'd be us staring at the damn camera.
I even got put in timeout.
Yeah, I even put Eric in timeout. I forget what you said. I forget why. It's more as a joke. I forget why, too. I'll have to check the footage.
Tommy just watched that. Maybe he remembers.
Just like you shut up, Eric. LOL. Yeah, this has been a fun podcast. So I want to go listen to that Nurkic interview.
Oh, it was about I was making fun of you.
Yeah,
you
were
being better than NBA players. That's
yeah. Which and then Eric starts talking about how he could score on Whiteside and drop 30 in an NBA game against Whiteside. Is like, okay, who?
According to Trevor.
Well, yeah, I mean, Trevor only speaks the truth, so obviously. No, but man, Eric starts talking about like, oh, I could pump fake Whiteside into the air. Whiteside wouldn't have to jump to block your shot, bro. Your pump fake wouldn't do anything. You just stand there, you shoot it, you just block it. It's like that, that's literally all that'd have to happen.
No, he can't. he can't help
Yeah, see,
himself.
that's oh, I could get him off his feet, and then I just do it up and under. It'd be easy buckets. It's like, bro, you talk crap to me about me joking about this type of thing. Here you are. Oh,
Oh,
you
like
were
I
one
wasn't
hundred
joking.
percent serious. We both know you were 100% serious. Um, 'cause-
I never said how many times it would take for me to get a bucket.
see, exactly. Oh, I was joking. See, I didn't say how many times. Yeah, but you still think you'd get a bucket. So, literally, dude would just have to stand next to the hoop. Dude could wait until it's out of your hands and then jump and literally like catch it and just throw it back at your face and say, sit down, old man."
Probably.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
uh,
Till I dream shake him. I'll go Hakeem Elijah one on him.
just focus on doing the dream shake against Cold Nuts this summer. That's all you need to worry about. Should be a lot easier than Hassan. Do I get no crispy bananas? You do not get that. Nope. You are not allowed. You are put in timeout for even asking me if you get your free roast to me. Old man, he like 5 years older than Hassan. He's like 10 years older than Hassan.
I'm like 10 years,
Eric's
9 or 10.
6'6".
Oh,
Eric is a big guy, but he ain't scoring on the side.
I just said I like going
I
up
would have
against those
I would
kind
have
of
better chance of scoring against Hassan because I could
uh,
than you, yeah, because I could take him out onto the perimeter, and Whiteside Hayes guarding out there.
But that's not what I was talking about. I said I just wanted to try posting him up because I think I can score on him like eventually.
I
think I could.
You didn't put it eventually last time. That's exactly how you said it. Completely serious. That's what I'm talking about, chat. This is for you making fun of me for all that, man. This is karma. This is payback.
I could not score 20 on Giannis. No.
God, man, I don't even see like before. Like, oh, we're exposing Eric too much. Feel kind of bad. No, I don't even feel bad. You deserve this, bro. That's exactly how I said it. Now he's like,
Yeah.
oh, because I think I could score on him.
But
Eventually.
But I never said I could beat him 1-on-1 or anything like that. I said I would love the opportunity to take him in the post because I think I could at least fool him once to go up and under. Because he likes to block every shot. I love playing against guys bigger than me when they fall for pump fakes and go for blocks because it's so easy to score on those type of guys. I told you he was serious,
chat.
But
I told you he was serious with this.
But I mean, like Whiteside's super lengthy. I
He has
don't know
a
if
7 wingspan. He's a 7-footer, bro. Like literally, you wouldn't be able to. Like, he's not gonna jump at anything. Even if he jumps, he could still probably block your up and under because he just literally reach back with those like long ass arms of his and just stuff you. Like, bro, like.
It'll be like CJ's special victims unit. Those videos he posts when he crosses someone over. I'll have him in a spin cycle in the post, and he won't know what hit him.
The people's mix. The problem is Victor Oladipo can play defense, and the problem is Victor Oladipo's actually good. Like Victor Oladipo was more efficient in Orlando than Wiggins has been in his entire career, and Oladipo has a good work ethic. That was a big factor there. He has a really good work ethic that Wiggins doesn't have. Plays defense, has a motor. Like, don't even start comparing those guys. Like, I get what you're trying to say about culture and all that, but comparing Wiggins to Oladipo, they're completely different players. Completely different players, bro. Yeah, I guess Oladipo wasn't that efficient before he got to Indiana, but still, man, like, dude, Oladipo had only played 4 years by that time. Indiana was his 5th year, and then he made that jump. Wiggins, what is he in? Year 6? Wiggins is in year 6. So, I don't know. Oladipo is in year 4. Wiggins is in year 6. I don't know. They're completely different players, completely different situations there, bro.
I like how he doesn't listen to you to put it all in one
Yeah.
post either.
I literally just exposed you. Chat will agree with me too. I literally assumed, and then I checked for you, and then okay, yeah, I was wrong. He had Wiggins like inefficiency before he got to Indiana. Still, my point stands because Oladipo has a much better work ethic than Wiggins, so he worked his ass off once he got traded to Indiana. He has a motor. He's a good defender. That's three reasons why he's completely different than Wiggins. Just because one player does something when he gets into a new situation doesn't mean that every player that gets into a new situation when they've struggled is going to improve, man. Like you're scraping and clawing for reasons to think this dude is going to be some god tier type of forward or shooting guard or point forward or whatever the hell you think he's going to be. But like, bro, you need to relax. You're biased towards him. You are biased as hell towards him, and just admit that you're biased towards him, and that'll be fine. I respect that. I respect that, bro. Victor wasn't a number one pick either. Yeah, thing is,
Well, this is the second pick.
Yeah, if Joel Embiid didn't have those injury issues, he would have been the number one pick and not Wiggins. So, Wiggins, Tim Hardaway Jr. greater than Andrew Wiggins. Honestly, this year Tim Hardaway Jr. has been better than Andrew Wiggins. That's the truth. Like, he's been more efficient. He's been a better defender. Like, honestly.
Well, I wonder how many people that are like that, like an Oladipo, or you could even put CJ in this category. People's mix. Look, there's 4 posts in a row where you said like one word and then one word and then.
I'm gonna start just removing
like, just put them all together.
His like, I'm gonna leave the posts with the little something in them in there, not the TF LOL OMG lol, all those just gonna.
But anyways, back to Oladipo and CJ, like. Those type of guys, like if they had their own team, would be putting up way better stats than Whiteside has. Or I mean, not Whiteside, Wiggins. So like, come on, people's mix. He was making a joke. You don't have to like keep doing what we've asked you not to do.
He's going.
There you go.
Damn, babysitting on my podcast. This is the babysitting podcast.
But like if you traded CJ to Minnesota instead of D'Angelo Russell, he'd probably be putting up close to 30 and 8 or something as their main guy, right?
By the way, I banned People's Mix for a post you didn't see. He told Ben C. Darling to SMD.
Yeah. Well, we saw the lead up to it.
Oh, man. He was joking about the way you post, bro. Don't tell him to SMD. The hell? Nurk interview. It's on the Blazers YouTube channel. I'm going to watch it after this podcast. What's up, Dave? We needed some positivity in here. I appreciate it, Dave. But yeah, so anyway. Did you have something you want to add on to that to finish, or? Right,
no, it's good. We should probably move off of Wiggins.
I was thinking about wrapping up this podcast. We've been live for an hour. We've covered everything we wanted to cover. Oh, beyond it, it's stretching and shit. Okay. Why not watch it live? Because Eric couldn't hear it, and it's like a 10-minute interview. So, I'm just gonna watch it after. Said what the? Yeah, this the.
Yeah. That's all good, Chrissy Bananas. At least for me. I don't care if you make fun of Tori.
He said test. He tested whether he's on a timeout or not. Oh, you know that. I'm back peacefully. I thought you were asking for a ban by bringing that up. The hell? If you bring that up, that's basically saying, Tori, please ban me. People was so nice last stream. LOL. Yeah, he's hit or miss, man. He gets very passionate about things, and sometimes he just loses his mind and tells people to SMD and says I get exposed because I was trying to guess stats from 5 years ago and didn't guess them correctly, and I looked them up and corrected myself. Like, but you know, People's Mix. He's gonna do his thing. He's gonna do his thing, and we're gonna sign off before he's out of timeout. Chris Bonin says, "No, I was cracking hella jokes. You were chill as hell last time, so I didn't think it would matter. I'll stay at my lane, Alabama." I just meant you as more of a joke, bro. With what you said, I thought it was, asking me for permission. I thought it was funny to just say no with the ban, with the 5-minute ban.
Yeah, Crispy's the man. Don't be banning Crispy.
Crispy needs to be the man and not be the hater. Hating on me. Stay in his lane, which is being... Nah, he's not the man, he's the banana. That was a corny joke. I'm done. I'm out of here. I just end the stream with that. Thoughts on Clippers and Lakers last game? The Lakers won. That's my thoughts. I don't know. I didn't really watch it, so... Giannis is still MVP. What'd he ask? I'm not going to repeat what he asked. That makes it sound so much worse than it was. Crispy Mix. Never put me and Mix in the same comment. Okay, you're right. I apologize.
No, Tommy said Crispy Mix.
I figured I did. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see that. I don't know why I didn't see that. It was literally right above the comment I read. Yeah, don't combine those. But that's when people say Tory Stotts, that's like the same thing,
That's funny.
The People's Mix just needs to stop being so hostile, man. If you still watch it, stop being so hostile, bro. You're just randomly so hostile at me and other people just because we don't think Wiggins is like a god. You know what I mean? Just relax, bro. That's literally all you have to do. You literally, like, the 5-minute ban, whatever, us clowning you a little bit right now. That's just because you brought that upon yourself just by being so hostile, being so, like, over the top, man. You just gotta chill. You just gotta relax. Or you could still be that way, and this will happen from time to time, and everything will be good. I don't care. Either way, it's your choice.
But back to the Lakers-Clippers game. Thought it was a good game. But I feel like those games don't really matter right now. Like,
bro, he asked. Okay, let me. Okay, I'll let you finish. But no, he asked if he could make a joke about my forehead. You guys know how that goes. So, oh my God, put user in timeout again. That's how a lot of Laker fans like type and post though. Like, I know a Lakers fan I played with in college is like exactly like, Oladipo wasn't efficient, Wiggins in all caps with like a bunch of greater than signs and like, emojis, like it's just I don't know. I don't know why. I just thought I liked the gas station guy outside the gas station, but that's kind of what they remind me of. He's like, anyway.
Wouldn't it be great if Wiggins got traded to the Lakers? then
that would.
We have People's Mix being so frustrated with his own boy all year, and then he like causes the demise of the Lakers. That would be perfect. That's my new favorite thing. I'm rooting for
KCP, Danny Green, and Kyle Kuzma for Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah.
Oh man. When you go to a game tour, can you please put it in the community tab? I need a pic with the goats and autographs. Yeah, I will. But yeah, so what was your point about the Lakers or whatever that you were going to finish off with? Because
the Clippers had beaten them, twice this year already. So I felt like it was a little more important for the Lakers mentally to win that game than it was for the Clippers. But, I was kind of following along on Twitter while watching it, and if I would have just been looking at Twitter, I would have thought the Clippers were up by 30 because everyone was like, "Oh, look how the Clippers are playing when they're healthy," blah blah blah. And then you look at the final score and they lost, and it's like, what? But yeah, I don't know. The Clippers are not. Yeah, they're trying. That's not what I'm trying to say, but they don't care as much about regular season wins as they do being healthy and hitting on all cylinders for the playoffs. So I don't think they're really going as hard as they can to get like the first
Mm-hmm.
seed or like that's more important to the Lakers at this point. So like I don't really know if you can take too much from those kind of games. I mean, obviously they wanted to win and they tried hard, but like I don't think that's like the end of the world for them. Whereas it would have meant a lot more for the
True.
Lakers to lose.
True. I agree with that. Lakers are kind of the Laker fans are a little too excited about winning a regular season game. I'm just gonna say that now. Um,
Yeah, Marcus took a lot of bad shots. Marcus Morris,
yeah,
he was not
yeah,
playing well. But that's what
yeah.
happens with
That's what
guys
you
like
get.
that. They can win games or
hmm
they can lose games.
Um, People's Mix Wiggins has the trade value of low fat stale potato chips. um,
And what do you think of the Rockets lately?
Falling apart,
Do you think
kind
they've been
of. I don't know.
exposed? It's one of those things. It's like the Wildcat
Yeah.
in the NFL. Like, yeah, it works initially, but like
Once you
it
start
only
game
takes a
planning
few
for
games
it,
for
yeah.
smart teams
Be
to like
interesting to
do.
see Nurkic return against them. That's going to be the most interesting
Yeah.
game of the year. Most interesting day of the year. We got March
Yep.
Madness that day. I'm excited for that. So also let me end with this. I am going to. This was the People's Mix idea. Is actually a good idea. So here we'll speak positively about the Mix man here. But so I'm gonna start doing exclusive content on Patreon. Like I'm gonna keep everything that I do over here. What I'm gonna do on Patreon is for those who donate $5 a month or more, I'll do full highlights reactions to each Blazer game, and that way I can break down film because I can't post highlights on YouTube, but can do it on Patreon. So what I'll do is I'll just have like a face cam, a small face cam, and I'll have the game going, and I'll just do one take. It'll be easy since I won't edit it. I'll just do one cut, so I can literally just record it all the way through and then straight upload it. So it'll be easy for me to do. And I can react to full highlights. I'll upload those the day after every game. And those for people who donate $5 a month or more just has incentive for you guys to get some extra content, a little bit of film breakdown that I couldn't otherwise do here anyway, so why not put it on Patreon? And then I want to do like one, maybe two live streams before the end of the season where I watch the game live and react to the game live, and I'm streaming the whole time on Patreon, which would be $5 a month or more to unlock that exclusive content. I might come up with something else as well, but that'll be over there on Patreon. On Patreon for you guys. If if you can't donate or anything like that, as I've always said, that's fine. I
It,
didn't really want to put something behind a paywall, but since I can't upload it here, like, I think it makes sense, for those who really want it.
also post the Discord link
Discord
again.
link again. I don't have it ready. I'll tweet it out in a little bit. Bro, get the hell out of here, man. You're annoying me today, bro. You just quit spamming, man. Quit spamming People's Mix. I didn't even read that.
He didn't say he
saw a
watched
bunch of caps and a percentage sign, and that percentage sign kind of triggered me.
he he said, "Get out of here! You didn't watch the Lakers Clippers game, but you watched the Golden State Toronto game. You didn't say you watched that. I did, and I said I watched the Lakers
See,
Clippers
that's what,
game as
bro.
well.
You need
I
to
both
watch
those
your
games.
tone towards your
You're not
masters,
even
people, Mick.
talking about the right person.
We are. You need to watch your tone towards us, man. Come on, man. Bro, like, I don't know why you'd go onto a stream and go at the house like, get the F out of here. What the F you talk? Blah, blah, blah. Like, chill, man. I don't even let people talk to members of chat like that, I try and curb that, so don't talk to me like that, bro. Come on, man.
Hey, Mario, who are you in Discord? Since you're obviously not Mario in there.
If you guys go to Discord, then maybe, I don't know, make your Discord name match up to your YouTube name so we know who you are. That'd be cool. But I want to get that live again. I feel like there's a lot of people in that Discord that used to watch me that don't watch me anymore, though. I don't know. But anyway, He's just emotional. That's how people argue when they just argue from emotion. Yeah, but you can control yourself a little bit better than that. It's not like he's even saying it out loud. He's literally typing it, so he's literally thinking about this as he's typing it. So every time you like talk to me in a disrespectful way, talk to Eric in a disrespectful way, I'm just gonna put you in timeout. Like, if you tell one of us to shut up, if you tell one of us to get the F out, I will tweet out the Discord link. Eric, remind me. I will tweet out the Discord link because I'd have to like take Eric off the screen and all that. So follow me on Twitter at TroyJonesYT if you don't, and I'll tweet that out. And I'll tweet it out at Blazers Uprise, and then I'll retweet it from my account.
Did you put it in the thing below for last post game show, or is that just in
just
chat?
Put it in chat, and it wasn't an unlimited link. So anyway, I posted a prompt for mailbag questions in the community tab, posted more details about the exclusive content in the community tab that will be on Patreon. There's a Patreon link in the description below. So I'd love to see some sign-ups there, because that'd be people really want to see me react to full highlights. That'd be cool. Because I know that's something you've been asking for. You guys have been asking for. So the People's Mix said, "Oh, I definitely donate $5 a month for that," and then I announced it, and then he didn't donate $5 a month to my Patreon. So. But that's the thing. I'll actually be able to break down stuff on film. I won't have any fancy graphics, but I can, I'll have my mouse cursor, my good old mouse cursor that I can, and I can break down plays, and you guys can actually see what I'm talking about on a lot of our defensive lapses, that type of thing. So that'd be cool. And then going into playoffs, assuming the Blazers don't make it, I can do that with other games, and maybe do a live stream watching the finals or something. I don't know. We can do it for other stuff in the playoffs. But yeah, so I'm gonna wrap up this podcast. Good podcast today. Good fun podcast. Enjoyed this one. Even though
break down some Wiggins
Warriors highlights. Oh, here you have Wiggins for some reason not taking the three. He has a driving lane, but for some reason he doesn't take that either. Instead, he settles for a contested pull-up 19-foot mid-range jumper, and he clinks it off the front of the rim. Don't really understand that shot selection. And then here, after this play, you can see Wiggins doesn't really get back on defense. He's just kind of loafing out there, and he just bad defense from Andrew Wiggins. And then this next possession, you have Wiggins just opening the door. It looks like prime James Harden defense. He's looking like a matador out there, just letting guys get by him to the rim. It doesn't look like he cares. It looks like he'd fit in on this Portland Trail Blazers team. Ouch. That would be the reaction right there. Hopefully People's Mix is triggered right now. Help out Tori and get clout. I don't know what that means, man.
Here he is eating popcorn on the bench, and then next play, oh look, he can't hold the ball because he's got better fingers.
Oh man! All right, we'll get out of here before I have to put People's Mix in timeout again. That's a 15-minute ban I put him in. Oh my god!
It's weird not having a game today.
We'll see if he says something ban-worthy during my outro. Yeah, it is weird not having a game because I feel like the last few. Okay, yep, there it is.
He's talking in Discord too.
Don't make me ban you from Discord, bro. Just chill out, bro. Because I will literally that'll actually annoy me if you start doing that in Discord. This is funny, but if you start spamming the Discord, I will have to limit your Discord posting privileges because nobody's gonna want to post in there, and I'm gonna try and revive that. Right? Don't you want that?
He's already been banned from Twitter.
Yeah, man. Don't you want Discord to be people posting there? That'd be cool. But it's not going to happen if you're in there spamming it. People are going to leave it so they don't get a bunch of notifications for you posting crap. So, anyway, yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow with the post-game show. Check out the community tab. Check out Patreon. Link is in the description below. Merch is in the description below. Oh, he's not that bad in Discord.
I'm just
he says, I hate you. I'ma smack you, LMAO. Yeah, you needs to chill, bro. All right, so we're out of here. We'll catch you guys later. As always, peace out. Go Blazers.